Hey YouTube, Coppersan here. Today we're checking out the reworked Night Lord in the MapleStory Korea test server. Like I mentioned in the previous video, this is still the test server, so some skills might still be buffed, nerfed or changed before they hit the live server, so please do keep that in mind. As an Explorer Thief in first job, there are a few notable changes. Lucky 7 has become a mobbing skill with a bigger hitbox, but it just looks like your character is grabbing a bunch of throwing stars and just yeeting them at monsters. I kinda like it though. And double stab has become a mobbing skill as well, hitting monsters around you with a slash, like a miniature version of the dual blade skill. Besides that, all your other skills like flash jump and dark side, they're all still there, with some small changes to the dark side animation. Haste is still there as well, but has been turned into a passive skill, which is quite convenient. Trading with the new version of skills is actually a lot better than before, it goes really fast. But second job is where Night Lords are already getting a big chunk of their changes with two new mobility skills. A dash that has a cooldown of a few seconds and an upwards jump. Look at those sick flips. The upwards jump doesn't have a cooldown, and the higher the level the skill is, the higher the up jump will be. You can use this to travel pretty big distances if you double jump as well, but you lose your momentum if you do get hit by something. The horizontal dash can be used during the flash jump to cancel out the remaining jump and dash instead, but I think this skill will mostly be used during boss fights to dodge attacks without flash jumping away like really far. Assassins learn two new attacking skills in their second job as well. Gust Charm, which is a pretty useless skill that knocks back monsters, and Shuriken Burst. That skill has been reworked and now hits way more lines, plus it appears to have a bigger hitbox as well. All assassin skills now have a purple theme, kinda similar to the Night of Sickness Nightwalkers, minus the bats. Their weapon booster has been turned into a passive as well, which is again quite convenient. And of course your assassin's mark, those throwing stars that keep popping out, are still there as well. Second job trading went really fast thanks to their improved mobbing and additional mobility, especially the up jump is very nice, and the higher amount of lines of their mobbing attack combined with bigger range makes it a lot easier to train. There is a lot happening in third job, so let's talk about that while we train a little bit. First of all, your Shadow Star skill has been turned into a passive, no longer consuming throwing stars when used because, well, yeah, it's a passive. This means that once you put 1 point in that skill, you only need to carry around one set of throwing stars at all times, since you just no longer consume throwing stars ever. So you could, for example, get one set of Ilbies and that will be all you'll ever need. No longer is there a need to clog up your inventory with throwing stars, which is a massive quality of life improvement. This also means that Haste, Booster and Shadow Stars are all passive buffs now. Night Lords only have Assassin's Mark Toggle and the Shadow Partner buff to worry about. And speaking of Shadow Partner, what do you all think of the look of this skill? We had some mixed reactions on stream. I think the skill should have either been purple to go with the rest of the Night Lord skills, or everything should have been colored red just like this skill. And no, that grinding skill that I'm using right now in third job isn't Showdown. It actually is the new look of Shade Splitter. My guess is that Nexon forgot that this class also the third job mobbing skill and just hurriedly copy and pasted the same throwing knife from Showdown for this animation. But jokes aside, it does grind pretty nicely and has a deceptively large hitbox. This skill now also hits 4 lines instead of 3 and does more damage as well, again making grinding a bit easier for this class. Dark Flare has been changed as well. It now looks like a purple throwing knife cloud thingy. And again, not my favorite design choice. It was a lot easier to see the previous animations where the hitboxes were of that skill. Also, the purple cloud is obscuring quite a bit of the map. And just wait until we get to 4 job if you think this is already pretty bad to see any monsters with this skill active. Dark Flare needs more skill points to max now as well. The max level of this skill has been changed from level 10 to level 20 because the Shadow Web skill has been removed. That skill has been replaced with the second job dashes. After being spoiled by grinding with Legion, Link skills, spawn enhancers and XP boost, it surely felt tough to grind at the MapleStory Korea test server. Mobbing was great with the new and improved skills though, and even without any Legion and only one Warrior Link skill, I was still able to one-shot monsters pretty easily. This server is based on a regular server though, do keep that in mind. Night Lords still have really low HP though, so fighting Manon and Griffey was pretty tough for the 4th job advancement, and I really need to keep my HP in mind while grinding afterwards as well. The other passes for the 3rd job Night Lord didn't really change at all as far as I could tell. And so we have reached 4th job. Showdown has a new animation. I really like the skill that appears when the animation ends, that's pretty cool. This skill still increases EXP and drop rate by the way, that's still there, and by the looks of it the hitbox did get increased for this skill as well a little bit, just to make grinding again a bit easier. Quad Throw has gotten a new animation and looks pretty slick. I like the small hit effects on monsters as well. Sudden Raid has gotten a complete redesign as well. I think this skill looks pretty awesome. Keep in mind that most of my skills are still level 1 at this point, so my damage is gonna be pretty low. The other big change in 4th job is to the Night Lord's mark. Instead of popping out smaller throwing stars, bigger throwing knives will pop out every now and then, dealing even more damage to monsters alongside those throwing stars that were already popping out from Assassin's Mark. Frailty Curse has gotten a new look as well, which is red, and most of their 4th job passive skills and hypers remain the same, besides the visual change here and there for their active hyper skills. Sorry I couldn't level my Night Lord in time, leveling goes so slow, it would take a few days just to reach level 140, so I couldn't show it in time. Overall, Night Lords have gotten quite a big boost to their mobility and their grinding, making them faster and more versatile while also improving their mobbing. There was no mention in the KMS patch notes about any 5th job changes for this class though. Personally, I'm a bit divided on the colors used for this class. It looks a lot like the Nightwalker, the Knight of Sickness Assassin's color palette, and visibility is taking a hit as well with all those purple big skills blocking out monsters in the map. Also, I'm not sure why some skills like Shadow Partner and Frailty Curse are designed to the red color while all the other skills are purple. Kinda breaks the theme of this class a little bit. But overall, the changes are very nice. Night Lords are still a squishy, high risk, high reward class, but have gotten some more control and movement thanks to their new dashes, and grinding has gotten a lot easier with also 3 less buffs to manage. What do you think of the reworked Night Lord? Let me know in the comments. We're going to level up the reworked Bishop next. We're live on Twitch when this video goes live, leveling up that class. After Bishop, we're going to train Buccaneer, so stay tuned for more content coming your way. And that was all for today. As always, many thanks to our members for making this video possible. Thanks to Niels, Coninck, Raar, maar waar, Sebastian, Hanoy, FLX, Ryalias, Terry Kim, Vareese, Saudi Mora, Wiley, Francisco Sousa, Historycanon, BackSpaceOTI, Saffronyx, Lorenzo, BG Extremes, Anwar NHI, Frank Bouguet, Ziggy Deer, Flidiot, Beamer WT, Knifesu, Chen125, Cloudfix, Gustus Rodriguez, Froggy11, Sir Tito655, Gleason, Brendon Cam, Vira, Trevor, Michael Machaka, Ratius, Lucky Beats, Justin Vale, Silvio Nato, Stevie Zhang, Afterlord_MS, Heopan, ceemak, Joshua Alvarez, Striker Elk, Nokem SS, Niu, Taiwan Pan, Victor Sundstrom, Radicals the Alien, Stanislaus Kusumo Vegas, Ricer Aryu, Eddie Reacts to Things, Dular, Gummy Bullet, Liron Riddle, Booty Warrior GT, Jeremy Stotler, Mr. Anarch, Lovebird, Ref Soli, Drusky TV, Yo Mama, Mathias Simonsson, Caveman, oh yeah, and Galando Balavia. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe and happy mapling!